everyone, this is Lindsey. I'm one of the reference librarians at Radnor Memorial Library, and on this week with Learn Something Random with the Librarian, I'd like to talk about the Mutter Museum. Seeing that things are starting to open up a little bit, and museums aren't going to be too far behind, Radnor Memorial does carry museum passes, and the Mutter Museum is one of them. So if you're interested in something a little more offbeat, not an art museum, and sort of a history museum, this might be the one for you. So starting with the beginning, it was founded in 1858 by Thomas Mutter. Mutter, depends on who's saying it. It's near Rittenhouse. Its current location is near Rittenhouse. I believe it was housed somewhere else before this. It's in this gorgeous brick building. Can't really miss it. It's got really gross pictures all over the outside of it. It's a learning museum, or originally started as a learning museum for the College of Physicians in Philadelphia. And being that Thomas Mutter actually founded the museum, a lot of the collection today is actually still his, which is very interesting. It is a medical oddities museum, so it's not exactly something for the faint of heart, and it's got several different kinds of collections, which are all really fascinating stuff if you're into this. So the main collection has stuff such as the drawers of things people have choked on, including the pretzel that President George W. Bush choked on. That's in that drawer. They also have the largest adult skeleton and the smallest adult skeleton, as well as something known as the soap lady. In certain environmental conditions, when you're buried, you can turn into a waxy substance, and it actually preserves you very, very well. And this woman died in 1790, and she was exhumed in 1875. And she was so well preserved by this wax sort of thing that they were actually able to x-ray her in the 1980s. And you can see all of her organs are still there. You can see buttons on her clothing. It's all kinds of crazy. It really is. She's not exactly pretty to look at, but she's definitely something special that the museum has as part of their permanent collection. They also have a second collection known as the wet collection, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's things that are in preservation fluid or are from inside the human body, not so much outside the human body. But Mutter Museum actually is one of the proud owners of one of the proud owners of several slides from Einstein's brain. That's in the collection, as well as one of the largest ovarian cysts and other ways to preserve human organs and things such as that. So that whole room is a little nasty, but it's still fascinating to look at. They also have an archive collection, and they also have a rare book collection. Both are open to students from all kinds of colleges, universities, anything, and anyone who wants to use it can. I was one of them myself, actually, when I was getting my degree for library sciences. I contacted the Mutter Museum, and they allowed me to come to the basement, not as creepy as it sounds, come to the basement and look at some of the items that I had chosen from their catalog. And they were very gracious about it, and it's really, really interesting stuff to know that what's on display is not the only thing there, is not the only stuff there. They have so much more. They also do different events. So this was kind of something that I found kind of interesting. They have the Gravediggers Ball every year at Halloween. It is for members and outside members. They can come in and they can dress up, and there's costumes, and there's all kind of contests, and it's catered, and all the proceeds from it go towards the upkeep of the museum and acquisitions. So they do that. They also have a beer garden during the spring and summer, or summer sometimes, depends on if they don't do it, which always takes from local breweries and everything. They have a nice big outside area next to the museum. It's a nice big terrace with all kinds of medicinal plants growing in it, and the vendors set up in there, and you can have a good time. Again, proceeds go towards the museum. They also have weddings, if you're into that. So they host weddings there. Honestly, it's a little weird because it's not exactly a big museum, but again, if you're into it. They also have guest speakers. In the past, they've had local pathologists come and speak. They've had authors come and speak. They've had all kinds of guest speakers. Multiple artists come in that do artwork centered around medical stuff or, you know, the human body and anatomy. It's a very, very interesting museum. So, if you find this interesting, you should stop by and grab a pass at Radnor Memorial when we reopen. It's one of the grossest, coolest museums in Philly, in my personal opinion. I know it's not for everybody, and I wouldn't recommend it to kids of a certain age either, you know, under a certain age, because there's a lot of grossness. And some kids might not be used to it. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed talking about it. It's one of my favorite places to go, and I hope to see you guys all soon. Be safe, and have a great week.